the former one atomweight champion, but a fighter in so many ways. You're coming off such an emotional weekend at One Fight Night 14 in Singapore. I just want to start off by saying I could not have more respect for the grace and class you showed through such a difficult literal transition of the title and the larger transition of what's going on in your personal life. But we were with you watching it, and that was some of the most heartfelt stuff I've ever seen on a fight broadcast.
Thank you. It was a really amazing experience. Lots of different emotions, but I am just so at peace, with closing this chapter, and moving on to the next chapter for me. It's been a crazy ride, and I have nothing but great memories to look back on.
So let's start right there. That decision, which comes with so much thought and care and love, and the impact that everything's had on your life, losing your sister late last year, and all that. How hard was literally to make that decision that now is the time to just put this aside and let's go somewhere else?
Uh, Honestly, it wasn't too hard. Um, it took a while to finally come to the moment where I made the decision, and I talked to one and I told them that this is what I wanted to do moving forward. Um, but I just felt that something was off, something was wrong, and that things just weren't the same, and I didn't want to continue uh that way, putting myself on this path if I didn't want to be there. And that's the truth. Um, you know, I love MMA, I love mixed martial arts, I love what I do, but just things are so different now, and for me, I've accepted that and chosen to move forward.
Well, you're moving forward with such great and admirable purpose with fightstory.org, the nonprofit website that you're starting, and certainly in honor of your late sister Victoria. But I feel like the larger thing you're trying to accomplish here is something that is so needed in this space of combat sports, the care and the attention to mental health. Uh, just talk to me about how quickly the idea for this came into reality and in what you want to do here.
Um, the idea of the nonprofit came earlier this year, in about March or so, and it's really helped me find meaning and purpose and just why I would want to move forward in life. There is a really great need for what we're doing. Um, Mental health is a topic that is still you know not really talked about in society. We've come very far, but there's still a lot to go, and especially in combat sports in the fight world, it's pretty much non-existent.
Right.
You don't have fighters coming out talking about this, and if you do, it's very much a rarity. But it is something that I believe every fighter, every individual, goes through or is affected by. Um, and so bringing up the conversation, finding tools or methods that can help you when you're at a low is very important.
You know, what sort of resources when Fight Story is operating at and I know it's launched and you're ready, but when you envision what role it could play in this, in this community, you know, what can a fighter get from logging on to from being willing to open themselves up to what you want to offer here?
So the two main things that Fight Story will be focusing on is one, acknowledging just our life experiences, and the journeys and struggles that we've been through, and I guess sharing that wisdom, and experiences from our own personal journeys. And the second thing is, proactively educating um, the community on mental health about the importance of nutrition and recovery and emotional well-being and how all of those things are linked together um, to prevent issues, to prevent, you know, a crisis, essentially. You know, these are the two things that we want to do. We want to acknowledge our past and then also take proactive steps for the future.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, you hear people say this about every sport, every walk of life, it's 90% mental, but I mean, why do you think in the fight game that part is almost an afterthought?
That saying, fight is 90% mental, it's 100% true. But with that being said, what are we really doing to, take care of your mental health or strengthen your mental health? Um, your mind is the strongest muscle in your body. And, I truly believe that, I don't know if you've heard of like the trifecta, mind, body, spirit.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, your mind is what controls essentially your body and your heart. And so you we all need to take care, of our mind. And that's just what mental health is. It's just health.
Indeed, just health just should be first and foremost in that regard. Uh, it's bittersweet, obviously, in the way that your career now comes to a close. But what sort of gave you the peace that it's okay, that the time is now? I mean, you've accomplished so much. Does it feel like this is a permanent thing? Does it feel like you have the peace to go, you know what? I am done for forever. Or is it not that concrete and necessary to define that?
For me, I view it as a final decision and I am okay parting with it. I think the reason why I'm so okay with it is because I've found something after it. I've
Yeah.
found a new meaning, a new purpose. And I think, that's the issue with a lot of fighters when they choose to retire, when they do retire, is, they end up going back to it because they haven't found something as fulfilling. And for me, I'm very grateful to have found, my next chapter in life, which is with Fight Story.
uh your old opponent Stamp Fairtex ends up winning the then vacant championship after you give it up, and I thought that the ceremony, the transfer, there was so much love and respect being shown. You shared the cage with Stamp and had one of the incredible title fights of recent memory. uh how did it feel about passing it off to somebody that you knew so well and have such deep experience with?
I was so happy for her, genuinely, truly happy for her. And because first of all, she's an incredible human being. Second of all, very, very talented. And I couldn't have, passed the belt to anyone better to carry the division forward. Um, so yeah, just all love. And she has my full support.
When you look back at the incredible fight between you, did that surprise you, the danger she brought to it and the excitement that you two were ultimately able to make?
I knew she was a, world-class striker. There's no doubt about it that her striking is, she was the world champion for a reason in kickboxing and Muay Thai. But, I just knew that for me, um, I could lean on, my experience and, all the different areas of mixed martial arts. And, I knew deep down, I was like, there's nothing that can put me out, not a liver shot. I'm gonna keep going. And yeah, for me, seeing my baby across the cage and hearing her is all the motivation I need.
Indeed, indeed. The one train obviously will keep rolling. There's a fight card this Friday night, one fight night 15 that'll be on Amazon Prime, 8 p.m. Eastern, and an interim featherweight championship in that main event. Along with fightstory.org, which I've couldn't be more behind and excited for, to be honest. What role do you plan on playing in the fight game moving forward? Like, how close do you want to be to the action, or even future partnerships with one championship?
I've spoken with Chatri and, he is been incredibly supportive of Fight Story and our mission since day one. And, we're very excited to collaborate and, you know, get engaged with the community at whichever events they hold. I know they're coming to the US next year as well. So I'm very excited to do that and, find ways to collaborate with One Championship to, give back to the community.
And I'm curious, what type of response have you received within the MMA community? It's been about a week and a half since I first saw your post on the website. I saw your interview on ESPN and got your own backstory about its suicide in the past. And it, man, did it hit hard for me as a journalist. What was the reaction from the fight community after that?
Um, just nothing but support, and I think that everyone can relate in some sort of way. Um, and yeah, just I've also received a lot of messages from other fighters just opening up and sharing their experiences. And, it's crazy because at the end of the day, like, we're all connected by these experiences, by these struggles. And as difficult as life may be sometimes, I think we can, take strength in one another that, we are going through the same thing and we're all, choosing to continue to fight.
And a big part of you launching fightstory.org was to honor your late sister. What do you want people to always think about and always remember when the name Victoria Lee comes up?
Just the best person that ever was, she really was the greatest.
Well, this will be it's an honor to speak to you. The work that you're starting by launching fightstory.org is so needed everywhere, not just in the fight sports community. And I commend and it's such an emotional journey for you of late, but I couldn't be more proud as a fan to see you walk it out in this way. So I encourage everybody to check out fightstory.org. And Angela Lee, all of our love over to you and your family, and just commend you for what you're doing.
Thank you so much.